everybody, and welcome back to Disc Covers, the only podcast online that reads, reviews, and ranks all 41 of Terry Pratchett's seminal series of comic fantasy novels, The Discworld. I, as ever, am your host, Iris J. Pronouns are she or there, and I'm delighted to be back with my illustrious co-hosts. Grace, why don't you go first, then June, then Belina.
I get to go first this time. Hello, every pony. I am the internet's beloved princess, Grace. She, her, fey, fear, fair, if you're spicy. I am pleased as punch to be here, as always. Let's get ratting.
Hello, I am Juniper, as always. She, her, and I have successfully moved all the way across the country, which is why this episode was so delayed, and also successfully gotten myself sick. So if I sound a bit off, that is why.
And oh no.
I am still Belina. I am now the only person on this side of the country. Hooray. She/they/CB. And as always, I'm just glad to be here.
We gotta get you over here at some point.
I dearly wish I could. But, cards gotta line up first.
One of these days, we're going to have a live session for Discovers, and it's going to be amazing. But speaking of amazing... today we're going to be discussing the first... you see what I did there? A segue that actually fucking worked. Yeah. We're discussing the amazing Maurice and his educated rodents. Terry's first young adult offering came out originally way back around the turn of the millennium, 2000, and I'm just checking my copy. 2001. Yep. And it is... not a part of any sort of pre-existing series. It is a standalone novel. It doesn't... I don't think they say the word Discworld once in this book. Yeah. It's very low-key. It's there if you know, but if you don't know, you don't have to know anything about the Discworld going into this.
Mm-hmm. It's an Uberwald. Sir Terry doesn't even do the thing with where the sun pours across the landscape slower than usual.
Yeah, if I'd realized, I probably would have snuck that into the synopsis or something.
But I'm real excited to get into this one.
Yeah, I hadn't read this since I was a very small Iris, and I had forgotten pretty much everything about what happens in this book.
I had been told to skip the young adult books back when I was in high school, so once again reminding everyone that everyone was a stupid child back in the day.
Yeah, that feels like such a mistake.
Well, before we get into what you can tell are obviously going to be our thoughts about this one, do you want to do the synopsis?
Yeah, take it away, Synoptrix.
Dish.
All right. Sorry, noise in the background to edit out later.
No sweat, just whenever you're ready.
The titular amazing Maurice and his educated rodents, aka the clan, aka the changelings, are a bunch of random street varmints that got the talking animal status ailment due to eating stuff behind one of those piles of magical refuse you get when wizards exist in an area. Alongside some poor saw named Keith, they've been running a racket off camera where they make a town believe that a few hundred rats are a plague, and then getting the townsfolk to pay Keith off to Pied Piper them away. The clan is getting tired of this scam, finding it unethical, and are generally agreed that this book will be the last time. Unfortunately, as fate would have it, they stumbled into Bad Blintz, a town that was already quite firmly under the thumb of a pair of even less ethical rat catchers who had already rounded up every rodent in the town and had been framing their own thefts on a non-existent plague. After meeting up with Militia, daughter of the mayor, and woman so wrapped up in stories and the nature of narrative that if she ever encountered Susan Stohelith, the two would be mutually annihilated, Keith gets pulled into uncovering the rat catcher's plot just as the rest of the animals do. Also, unfortunately, as the rat catchers get back, tie up the humans and proceed to take Hammonfork, the leader of the clan, off to their side gig of rat/dog cage matches. Everyone's plans are further complicated by Spider, an eight-rat king that wants to be the big rat that makes all the rules, using their psychic powers to override even the clan's thinky brains and wage war against all of human society. The clan is left disheartened and disarray, believing their poor performance against a bad hit Madame is to show that they're no better than baseline vermin. While Militia and Keith escape thanks to rodent intervention and trick the rat catchers to shit themselves into confessing, Maurice and a pair of rats end up confronting Spider. Thankfully, Spider is one of those overconfident villains that doesn't think things through, so when it scares Maurice past the point of rational thought, Maurice does what cats do when confronted by a bunch of rats, and takes the knot for himself, effectively breaking the Rat King and maybe doing some light friendly fire along the way. It's okay, he gives up one of his 9 lives for him in exchange. With the rat catchers and spider out of the way, all that's left is to deal with the fact that an actual professional rat piper was paid to deal with the early stages of the scam. So when he shows up, the clan deafens every rat in town to stage things to demonstrate that they're actually the ones in control. Coming out into the open, they do their best to try and establish themselves as above-board members of society. Keith stays on as the official town piper. Maurice, for his part, fucks off and finds a new kid to lead around with the intent of becoming a mayor by proxy.
Happy ending.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's fun. I've noticed with your synopsises, it's fun because the more you like the book, the more funny gags you put into the synopsis. Like,
Yes, the less time I spend going, let's get out of this goddamn thing already. Yeah,
it's very fun, and I think
Yeah.
all of us liked this book a lot.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
wow.
It gets to some good parts. It's very it's a good treatise on what it means to be a person. It says furry bottom a lot.
I guess before we start, we should do one piece of admin or such, which is we're not talking about the movie here. There's a movie about this book.
Right.
Yeah.
None of
Yeah,
us
I
have
watched
seen
it.
it.
I
We might
watched
do a
it.
bonus episode about it.
Yeah.
I did watch it,
I
but
would-
if we're saving
Oh,
it
you
for the
watched
bonus episode, I'll save
Yeah,
it.
okay.
I would like to do a bonus episode for that. You may see it in the feed either soon or a long time from now, depending on how much time I have before an incoming surgical procedure that I have. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is just the book. We're saving any movie talk until later. So if you want to follow along, you're going to have to do some reading. I'm sorry.
This one's short.
Can't believe you would
It's
need to
tight.
do reading for this podcast.
Well, I don't know. Some people
horrible.
listen to this show and don't read any of the books. Hi, Nero. How's it going? But yeah, no.
This one's
This,
short. It's a pretty breezy read.
It's a breezy read. It's very atypical of a lot of Discworld books in that it's like I said, it's not set within any sort of existing Miane. There are
It's somewhere in
very-
Uberwald. That's about it.
Yeah, somewhere in Uberwald, there's no references. I think the only references to Discworld, like specifically the canon, are Uberwald, and also there's mention of the bony rat, and Death himself shows up later. The
Yes.
death of rats, and also the death of death. Death.
Yeah.
But
There- and
Death
there's
has
the
also appeared in other non-Discworld books that Terry has written. So yeah.
Yeah, man, death even shows up in real life. It just kind of happens.
Well, do they say explicitly it's the Unseen University, or is it just some university?
No, I'm actually pretty sure that it's the I can't even remember what the Stow-Lot branch is. But no,
Yeah, it's like a regional university.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They came from the Stow Plains, but not Ankh-Morpork.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Keith is from Ankh-Morpork, but
yeah. And there's a joke where the two watchmen in Bad Blintz are named like German for Nobby and German for
Colon.
other guy.
really?
Colon.
Well, I mean, one
Yeah,
of them
there
is
you
called
go.
named Bill, but
No,
that was the
those
only
are the
name I
rat
saw. and he-
catchers, the two watch guys.
Oh, right. Oh, nope, you're absolutely right. You're
Yep.
absolutely right. Those were very much okay, they just didn't have time. They just didn't get to do their like Abbott and Costello routine.
Yeah, they just showed up at like the very end to deal with when the Piper shows up.
Yeah, I know. No, you're right.
I think if they had done that routine, that I would have been less charmed.
Yeah, no,
But this
you
is
really would have taken
like,
you out of it because it would have been a Discworld thing.
Yeah, this really feels designed to be an entry point into
Yeah.
the Discworld canon.
For the moment this episode started, I went, "Oh crap! I think we might have our new first book to read."
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, this book has kind of taken the top spot of my, hey, do you want to get into Discworld? Do you want to hear what it is? Like, here's a really easy book. This is not super challenging, it's not super difficult, but it's really good, it's really fun, and hot damn, does it go places in the best possible
It's got
way.
some ideas,
Yeah.
and most crucially, though, it is in the greatest literary genre ever, which is talking mice who are living in a people-sized world. Absolutely just a treasure trove of narrative joys to be found in this, similar to The Rescuers, similar to the Deptford Mice quadrilogy at this point, I think. I love stories that are about little animals. They talk like people. They live in a people-sized world. Redwall is kind of this. You never see people, but whatever.
I mean, this book is even kind of about the idea of those books. Like,
right.
Yeah.
This very
sort
much
of
feels like
that.
Yeah, this very much feels like Pratchett going, I could write one of those, and then being like, but I'm gonna make it fucked up. Not in the way that normally people would be like, haha, it's all fucked up, but like in a
I don't think he said I'm gonna make it fucked up. I think he just ran the idea through the filtration system that is his brain, and it turned out like this.
This is the only way he could do they explicitly call it the Beatrix Potter situation.
Yeah. They the rats they don't just talk. They're not just con artists. They are actively trying to construct a little society.
Yeah, they want to live in a
with
society.
a religion and laws and stuff. And that's why this book is also a low-key sequel to Small Gots.
Yeah, no. I was really certain that Spider was actually them accidentally creating a god.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Huh. I didn't think about it,
No,
they talk about a big rat underneath the world, and they talk about Bony Rat, and it's all about
it's like they have that conversation right before a voice starts showing up, and
It's interesting too because like it starts with them like not having any beliefs, and they get outside beliefs from the Mr. Bunzy book, but then by the end of that, it's less about that book and more about the interpretation of what they've learned from that text, as well as their own personal extraneous system of beliefs that's kind of fused into a rat-specific dogma.
You don't. Yeah, like you don't have to believe in the literal truth of the adventures of Mr. Bunzy. You're supposed to be inspired by the stories.
Right, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It's got a lot of ideas about like what do we live in a society? What is society supposed to be?
It's really interesting. I fucking love this book. This is one of my new favorite Discworld books ever. I adored it.
yeah.
Had you read it before?
I had not. This is one of the ones I have never read.
Oh, shit.
That's part of why I was like so impressed with it. I mean, I knew that like everyone always says like, oh well, this is one of the really, really good ones. It's like, okay, well, I mean, probably. I know that he wrote some really good stuff, and like this does come right in the middle of what we could call his bangers era, but like I wasn't ready for how much I really, really like this. It's so good. Really, really grabbed me in exactly the way I wanted it to.
Yeah. I love the character. Like, I also love stories about like kind of like picaresque rogues, and like you don't get much more picaresque than Maurice, who is like your classic like very. I haven't seen the movie adaptation. I really feel like he's like a Guy Ritchie character, sort of a cat, where he's just like always kind of this small-time crook who thinks that he's a lot bigger than he is, and he's always kind of looking for an angle on shit and always a little bit of a pessimist. But also he's not like a... It's great, too, because Maurice isn't like an out-and-out like bad person, too. He genuinely does care about his... quote-unquote stupid kid, and also his rats. Like, he really genuinely is racked with grief over the idea that he got sentience because he ate a talking rat. And he has this whole thing where he constantly mentions like, okay, now if I eat a rat, I'm gonna ask them first if they're sentient. I have to ask them if they can talk, because if they can't talk, I'm gonna eat them. But if they do talk, I'm not gonna eat them, and that's why you can trust me. And all the rats are just like, sure, man.
Yeah, we know. Thanks.
Say, man.
It's
Yep.
It's funny how like eventually that's revealed to be not so much like at the beginning it feels a bit like the rats being like, we don't really trust you about this, like you're still a cat and all that. But then like as it goes on, you kind of realize no, they just don't care that much. Rats die all the time to cats.
When he breaks down and confesses, and they go, oh, huh. Well, that's nice. Anyways,
like even the point is that like yes, like you were just a cat at the time. You didn't have like your actions didn't have moral character yet because you couldn't think.
Right.
At the
They all
same time, like
completely
the
understand.
rats are very frank about how the fact that they will just eat other dead rats if they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like they don't, they kind of don't want to, but they'll just fucking do it.
Yeah, like it's the whole thing. Like, well, maybe we should. Maybe that's like wrong. They're kind of like on the fence about it. Obviously don't eat them if they died of poison. Then you will also do that. But if you have to.
I forgot to look up what the green wobbly bit is.
I don't think
probably
that's
something
real.
gross.
I thought that was just something Pratchett made
Gallbladder or
up.
something.
I don't know. It wasn't in the L-Space annotations, but you never know.
Yeah.
But the L-Space annotations also got the Scooby-Doo joke wrong, so who knows?
Baffling thing to get wrong.
Maybe they don't have it. Maybe it's not a big thing over there in England. I don't know. Maybe over in England they have a different dog who solves mysteries.
I feel like a bunch of children and a dog is not like a unique thing to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, correct. Well, specifically... Wait, were there 4 Scooby-Doo guys?
Yeah. Daphne,
Okay, yeah.
Velma, Fred, and Shaggy.
Okay, yeah, there
They
you
weren't
go.
really chill. I mean, I guess they were teenagers. So.
They're definitely adults because they actually have enough. They have the means to just roll around in a van all the damn time.
Yeah, I mean, I figured they were like, college dropouts or something.
Yeah, I figured like late teens, early 20s generally.
But, well, like, I would argue, like, Keith's supposed to be like a teenager, right? Like, he's at least old enough to go wandering around on his own.
Yeah,
he gets called a kid all the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What a great character, by the way. He just kind of like... I feel like every character in this book was kind of a bit of Pratchett. He does this a lot, but it felt really strong in this one of like Pratchett looking at archetypes from other stories and going, well, let's do that, but a little bit different. Like, you always see that in Discworld, but it felt so strong here with a lot of the characters. Like...
I deeply appreciated the gag that, like, we don't get Keith's name until, like, a third of the way through the book.
Mm-hmm.
He's just he's just the stupid-looking kid, and eventually Maurice mentions that he just doesn't know the guy's name. He says, "Oh, my name's Keith," and then the book knows that his name is Keith.
Yeah,
That's so good.
It wasn't a secret; just no one ever asked.
But yeah, he's so obviously like here's the kid who's got like... But he's leading the rats. He's got some sort of magic and stuff to him. And then he just doesn't really... He's just a guy. He just kind of is there for pretty much the whole book. And that's his best quality. He's just a guy. He's, like, able to figure out a lot of stuff for this reason. But that's all he really is just some random guy. Mm-hmm. It very much feels like Pratchett looking at the whole, like, well, here's this special kid thing and being like, okay, but... I don't want to do that. What if he's just like some random dude that doesn't matter that much? He doesn't really have... The only thing he can do is like, he's very good at music. He's a pretty good musician.
He's there because the animals need a human to interact for them until the end of the book. Like, he accomplishes very little on his own, and that's perfectly cool. Mm-hmm. It's not his book.
God forbid men do nothing.
Dude's not even in the title.
It's certainly not Militia's book either, despite how much she wishes.
Mm-hmm. And as much as we appreciate a girl boss,
I love her so much.
Yeah. Also, diversity win. They're the Sisters Grimm in the Discworld.
Yes. God, I was almost disappointed that it was the Sisters Grimm and not just like some old lesbian couple.
Yeah.
I mean, were they sisters or were they,
They didn't say... I wish it had said great aunt-in-law.
Yeah.
Because that would have been perfect, because then they just would have been some weird old lesbian couple writing stories about children getting murdered because they didn't listen to their parents one time.
Yeah. Just like Scootaloo's aunts.
I'm gonna pretend like I know what that means.
No, we're not allowed to question it. You gotta go to Horse Truck for that.
Yeah, you gotta go to Horse Truck. You gotta wake up in Equestria for that.
Yeah, in like two or three seasons, whenever we get there.
I know what that means, and I'm baffled.
But yeah, no, Militia's really great. Literally, she's constantly trying to jigsaw everything into the shape of a narrative that she expects things to work in.
And
but
it
also,
works just often enough that she never gets discouraged.
It's almost as if she lives in a book.
Yeah.
She's genre savvy, but for the wrong genre.
Yeah, it's good.
It's great too because of that, because we're so lampshading that so hard with her character, we can't pull that like it could be 1,000,000 to 1 shot that was used as like a crutch in previous books. We just can't do that here. Like, that's off the table. So it's only got to work like that when it is, we've already basically deconstructed, no, things don't really work like that. Okay, maybe they do, but just this one time, all right? Just this once. It's really fun.
I
There's
love
that constant tension of, are we going to be cynical about this, or are we going to be fantastic?
It does what a lot of the best humor does, which is there's a joke coming. Her whole speech about, well, this is how stories always work, is leading to a joke, but because Pratchett has gone back and forth so many times, you don't know what the joke's gonna be.
Yeah, you don't know
is it
how
gonna
he's
be
zag
like
on you.
what way is he gonna do this? Is he gonna like play it straight and she's just dumb and wrong? Is he going to do something completely unexpected and it turns out that like actually she's right but for entirely the wrong reasons? You see the joke coming, but you don't know what form it's gonna take, and that makes it even better. It's so much fun.
Like, she was right about the secret passage, but she didn't, obviously, like, oh well, it's just waiting for us to lean up against this wall. Like, didn't work.
And then Keith gets down on his hands and knees, asks, "Wait a second, why is there a rat hole in a rat catcher's shed?" Finds the switch, and then immediately falls through a trapdoor. Just playing it straight, but not playing it straight the way that you think.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree. We've danced around the topic long enough. You really came here to hear about the rats. We gotta talk about them.
We gotta talk about
They're
dangerous
so
scenes.
great.
We gotta talk about the fucking rats. Oh my
talk
god!
about
Just as like a little bit of context here. We used to own rats, and I love all rats with my entire heart. They're perfect little creatures. I'm sorry they sometimes do bad things. That's just the circle of life. But I just adore them, and this book really, really gets why rats are great. Like, it captures their absolute rattiness while giving them complex three-dimensionality. I really love Dangerous Beans and his dreamy ideas to make the world a better place. I really love Dark Tan and his like basically coming up from being a blue-collar specialist and basically becoming the leader of the clan just because there was nobody else to step up. I love Sardines and his little tap dancing and his tiny little hat. I love Peaches being a real persnickety rule, somebody who follows the rules or pays attention to rules really closely, and kind of being the backbone for Dangerous Beans' ideas. I love all of them. I love all the rats. The rats are great. I love rats. Rats are so cute.
They're all really well done. There's a lot of moments in this book that just work really well with the rats in ways I didn't expect. Dark Tan's entire arc of going from like just kind of the expert to traumatized leader was like legitimately moving. It was like genuinely really fantastic. And
he
then,
gives like a Braveheart speech at the end.
Yeah.
And like also it's like again, sequel to Small Gods and Carpe Jugulum, like you see him have a brush with the divine, with the afterlife and stuff that causes him to not necessarily, he doesn't become religious, but he sees the reason why religion kind of is a thing in a lot of societies, and he starts making that a part of their society.
He gets it on some fundamental level,
Yeah.
and he also gets kind of like he gets like a relationship with the ending scene where he's talking with the mayor of the town, and they're like slowly feeling out each other as equals as they both realize that they are very tired old guys trying to figure out how to lead a bunch of people is, like, legitimately really good writing. It's got some just, like, great moments from both of them. It could have been a lot more dumb jokes, but it ends up just being like, oh dang, I really feel for both of these guys.
Yeah.
The fact that the mayor, we had been set up like the mayor had been a fan of the Mr. Bunsey books and had read them all to militia way back when, and so he brings it up, and Dark Tan's like, no, we read that stuff, we're kind of tired of it. He goes, yeah, but they were nice stories, yeah.
Yeah. And how does a snake wear a collar? He's a tube. Would fall right off.
They get so mad about that. It's so great. And, like,
It's good.
Because it does a thing where it, like, it could have very easily been just... I kind of expected it to be something Pratchett's done before in the past, which is look at the stupid human underestimating this person. Like, oh, you're a fool. You don't realize that the rat is smarter than you are. Haha, has more experience. But instead, like, Dark Tan is like, I don't know how to do this. How the fuck do you lead people? I need help too. While also at the same time being like, but don't fucking condescend to me, you bitch. Like he strikes a balance that's really good.
It's nice.
I really liked his character. And Dangerous Beans is really great, and his scene versus the spider is so fucking good. It's so good. It's so good. I love these characters. It's just a really good book.
I was sitting there, I teared up reading through them, like, slowly reinvent society, seeing them learn the value in things like writing and, writing things down, and, like, you can, being able to externalize ideas from your head and communicate them. It's a very human thing, and they're relishing it, they're learning about it. It's good. It gets right to the core of it. What does it mean to live in a society and be human and to stand on the shoulders of giants?
Yeah. It's so fucking good.
Like, even the fucking dumb joke where Militia and Keith are tied up, and they're tied up in the rat catcher's basement, and and she's like, oh, and when the rats come to get them, she's like, oh, well, obviously they're gonna gnaw through the ropes and help us, and like, no, we have a knife, we can know how to use tools.
That was good. There's so many good jokes in this. Just really fucking solid jokes.
The double fake out with poisoning the rat catchers.
Yeah.
That they make that very specific. No. They poisoned you with. They hit you with that poison number 3. It's like, what? There's no antidote for that. We're dead. No. The rats came up with an antidote for it a while back. You'll be fine, but you'll wish you were dead. And because we'd had that set up halfway through the book of the no. They do actually have an antidote. That he's dropping these very specific facts that make it so that even we believe it, and then in the end, maliciously like, no, I just put laxative in there.
Even after it gets set up earlier that the poison is right next to the sugar.
And then also, there's another thing of just like it implying that he was totally fine poisoning the rat catchers, and she was the one who came up with that. It's like,
Yeah.
It's so good. It keeps going back and forth in the best way.
I'm so amazed that both the rat catchers survived.
To Keith, these people are like, oh yeah, these are the 2 scary guys who intimidate us and want to murder my friends. Yeah, fuck them. Die.
Yeah, he has this whole little speech about, they're like, oh, you can't poison us, that's inhuman. It's like, oh, it's very human, it's your poison.
I think that's kind of, thinking back to what I said earlier, that's kind of what really made the book work for me, is that I've seen Pratchett do this before with the whole, like, what if actually the non-human people are better than the humans because humans are awful assholes to each other, blah, blah, blah sort of thing. But, like, the fact that this book really, I don't want to say humanized, but made the rats into much more of characters, where coming away from it was like, I feel for all these little guys. I feel like there's a personality to them. They aren't perfect. They fuck up a lot, and there's a lot of stuff that they don't get and they're still struggling with, but like they are their own like real group, not just kind of Pratchett going, haha, look at how cool they are.
Yeah, they're people. They have, they can think. Their actions have moral character. They make decisions. They have and communicate ideas.
They fuck up a lot, but not because they're stupid, but because they're people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a good
It's
book.
so good.
It also like really
Great
works
book.
well from a plot point. It doesn't meander in the way I expected a lot of Pratchett books have. It's really tight.
It's very compact. I can see why they adapted this into a film because it's got a very 3-act structure to it.
They also adapted it poorly, but we'll get there.
Oh god.
Well, the with the pitch, it was a good idea. You know,
I could definitely see why somebody would read this book and go, "Damn, you could make such a good movie out of this."
You could
And that's still a true statement, no matter how good or bad the adaptation might have been.
You could give the cat a human face and everything.
Sounds like you have some annoyances with this movie that we'll have to dissect on a on an extra.
I don't want to give too much away.
Okay, but I just want to quickly pitch to the idea of animating this, but it all looks like those weird old medieval tapestries.
Yeah.
oh, that'd be
You
good.
mentioned cat with a
that would
human
be
face, and I'm just
great.
thinking,
Yeah,
wait a
there you
second.
go. Yeah, guy
I
who
was
has
gonna-
never seen a lion before but wants to draw
Exactly.
I was
Guys
gonna
who have
say-
somehow never seen rats before.
Like, I would want it's got to be like 70s, like Watership Down, Rankin and Bass shit animating this. I got to be able to see the Xerox lines. That's the only way that I would accept this looking good. But yeah, speaking of drawings, so the rats have a language. I want to talk a little bit about the rat conlang. You see little bits of it sprinkled throughout the book, and I always love it when Discworld books contain things that are not just words, because I'm simple and I love it when books have pictures. But they have a great little language that apparently was originally drawn by an illustrator named David Wyatt, who I need to look up. Is he still working? Oh my God, he does very fancy fantasy art. Wow. I'll link his stuff in the credits, but
This wasn't in the EPUB that I was reading.
I've realized we're starting to miss out by not getting like full PDFs.
He did an illustration of the watch that is a lot to look at. This is I guess this is another guy who does a lot of Discworld art, which is great.
I mean, there's a lot of Discworld, so...
There's a lot of Discworld.
Oh yeah,
out
he
there.
did this image of the watch. I've seen this one before. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, no,
But
this is good.
So we did all the illustrations for the rat, and all of the rat drawings are they're on dirt, and they're all very crude little drawings of rats doing things. There's a horizontal line to say no. There's I love the little epitaph for ham and pork that Darktan scratches above his grave. It's he was a rat. He thought a lot about rats. He was good to other rats. I don't know. It's just the fact that they have a written language really adds to the idea of them being people and not just animals. That's something that a lot of other mice living in people society things don't get, is that they actively want to leave a record for future generations of themselves. Maybe rats are more conscious of this than most creatures because so much of their, animal drive is making sure they procreate, and they don't live very long.
Yeah,
that's kind of the grim shadow of this book, is how well is this, they need to nail shit down with the town council now, because these rats are not going to live for another year or two.
Yeah, there was a whole thing where Habit Pork is 4 years old, which is old for a rat.
That's ancient for a rat. That is so old for a rat.
That's fucked up. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to
sorry-
think about how
I'm
old
sorry
all
to
the
be like
rats
this.
are.
Terrifying enough that we had to listen to them inventing, discovering the concept of mortality and trying to figure out whether they have souls or not.
We even get it feels like a payoff that couldn't have been more perfect if he had set it up, where it's with the whole thing of multiple different deaths splitting off of death back in, I think that was Reaper Man.
That was
I
Reaper
want
Man.
to say.
That was a side
Reaper
effect
Man.
of death going on extended leave.
Right. So the fact that the death of rats is the only one that hasn't resubsumed back into him and is now like a separate mythological figure for these rats. It's not goofy for them to expect, when you die, there's a skeletal rat who comes and collects your soul.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's such a good payoff.
Yeah. And in the end, like, Death handles all other animals. He can talk to Maurice, and you kind of, like, it only clicked with me in this book, but the only reason that cats have 9 lives is because Death historically has been shown to really like the company of cats.
He loves them.
So he's willing to let them cheat a little bit, which is very cute.
I loved that. I loved the whole scene there. I loved when Maurice asks Death if there's a death of cats, and Death is like, "No, of course not. That'd be too much like work. Cats would never." And Maurice is just like, "Yeah, of course. That makes perfect sense. Obviously, yeah."
Yeah.
Let's talk about Maurice for a second. What'd y'all think of
I'd love to.
the world's worst cat boy?
I like I said, I liked him. I like that he's a tarnished diamond. He's not a bad person. It's just that he's less bad, and it's more that he just exists on a set of moral principles that do not give a shit about societal moral principles. He's in it for himself and his clan of rats and his stupid boy. And he still has a code of right and wrong, but that doesn't really apply to shit. Like, he doesn't trust governments. He's fine with stealing stuff.
Yeah, he is a
He's
libertarian.
very into, yeah, exactly. He's very into taking the selfish way out whenever he can, unless it's absolutely an emergency situation.
Gonna say something really mean-spirited, but I kind of wish I just had a time machine to go back and tell Terry Pratchett to write Maurice instead of Gaspode.
I am glad you said that.
He does feel
Maurice is Gaspode, but good.
He does feel a lot like a more interesting Gaspode, like, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
This book absolutely, like, there was an earlier draft of this book that was Gaspode the Wonder Dog. I'm sure of it. Because also, like, the thing with, like, the Rat King and stuff, that's just like this is a better written, more well iterated version of the whole street gangs of fascist
Fido
dogs
nonsense
thing with Fido, yeah. This is just that idea, but more well thought out.
Yeah, because, Spider is kind of eugenicist. It's one of the things I noticed is it's both, our friend Rats and Spider both have this idea of, rats together strong, but Spider does it in an explicitly fascist, the strong will join the weak or food sort of way, and our friend Rats are, communists.
They're slowly discovering all this stuff. I really like that the whole dark time of the soul for Dangerous Beans ends with him going, "No, I'm even more firm in what I believe," which feels extremely Small Gods, like you've said.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Absolutely.
The entire Small Gods trip through the desert is extremely similar to that, I think.
Yeah.
Dangerous Beans is extremely Jesus coded. Straight up.
Yeah.
It's not that this book is Small Gods pulling, it's Bible pulling, because Dangerous Beans is Jesus.
Yeah.
I can't argue with this.
Yeah. He even dies and comes back.
No, that's Dark Tan.
No, Dangerous Beans also dies.
Oh, right,
and
no,
comes
you're
back.
right.
Yeah.
He literally dies.
Yeah,
Fuck, he doesn't have a near death.
Yeah, he dies, and Maurice has to intervene and give him one of his lives.
But because rat lifespans are so short, it's only 3 minutes.
But yeah, no, exactly. It's very interesting seeing that happen. Maurice is really, for most of the book, he's really motivated with both. It's interesting because his instincts are a lot closer. He's more in touch with his animal side a lot more than a lot of the rats. A lot of the time, it feels like, and I feel like part of that is just because he's really into looking out for number one. But I also have to kind of wonder if it's also because unlike rats, cats are kind of solitary creatures. And also, he doesn't have other talking cats to bounce off of. He's not starting a society. Mm-hmm. He's just kind of a weird middle ground that, like a liaison.
Well, like most libertarians, you would rather not live in a society.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He did say he wants to help a kid become mayor later. I think he just likes pulling strings behind the scenes.
Yeah, he does have a face turn. Like, he starts the book very, like, well, you know, it's ethical to swindle the government because they're just going to spend that money on war and diversity.
But also, you'll notice he only did the mayor gambit after he was like, well, you know, I did help these rats integrate into society, and I got an idea of what government's like. Yeah. And you know what? Not that hard. I bet I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could do that.
He feels extremely cat all the way through.
Yeah, no, he is just much more, and he doesn't even have to draw attention to it over much. Like, he does anyways, because he's a cat, but it's just so naturally coded into his character.
He's got a good vibe, and even him leaving at the end fits. Like, it fits his whole thing, where he's just kind of a bit of a bastard, because it's like, he's not doing it because he doesn't want to be there. He's just doing it in the very, like, yeah, I can't stick around. I'm a cat. I'm gonna go do something weird somewhere else. I gotta go make bad choices somewhere. Enjoy your time, y'all. Have a good one. It fits. Trying to think of other stuff. I liked all the rats. I loved Sardines. I loved Sardines so much. I loved his tap dancing thing. So fucking dumb.
I really can't underline enough that he did make a tiny hat for his head.
Magical Mr. Mistopheles.
He wasn't just a gag character. He absolutely, like, he was moral support. He knows very well how to manipulate people, like a good show rat would. Mm-hmm.
He's jester posting out here. He's doing the vizier thing.
Yeah, he's clown pilled. Mm-hmm. He's tap dancing. You love to see it.
He's really charming. He's really fun.
Yeah.
I loved him. I loved the whole joke of him tap dancing, the reason for it being specifically that as soon as people started seeing tap dancing rats, they knew they were fucked. Like, everything else, like, you up until that point, you can put up with a rat infestation, but if you see a tap dancing rat, your city's fucked. You gotta, something is wrong. You gotta call somebody.
You gotta pay the
That's
piper.
a problem. Yeah. Which is just a really funny, stupid gag. I'm trying to think of, like, all the other rats. I like who's the rat that helps save Darktan? Is it Sardines?
No.
It was.
It's the young
Nutritious?
one, right?
Yeah, the one from Whittler Company.
Yeah. The one who
I loved her
was
scene there.
Nutritious.
Yeah, the one who
She was great. Nourishing.
Yeah. It's nourishing. The one who gives Darktan something to, like, explain his ideology to, because
I realized we didn't explain this earlier, but all of the rats have names that they initially got from thrown away, like, food packaging, and they just picked words that they thought sounded nice to them.
Which, you know,
awesome.
you're listening to a podcast with 4 different trans people in it. Like, we all get it.
Every time I read Dangerous Beans, I felt like I had to send a message to my cohorse. Spilled beans.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, they all have very cute little names.
I appreciate that they learned to read before they learned what meaning was. So they just
don't we all, though?
Yeah.
I guess, but, like,
I learned so many words after I read them.
That's fair. That's unfortunately quite fair.
I'm trying to think of other stuff in the book that I liked. It's a really tight book. I mean, like...
Oh, I was going to say, I also really want to give a shout out to the scenes with where they first discover, Keith and Militia first discover the rat cages beneath the rat catcher's hideout shed. I feel like that passage where they talk about this, like, cage upon cage upon cage of these crowded in rats that are all starving and eating each other and screaming and clawing at the bars of their little cages. That is a legitimately horrific image. And I feel like it's horrific in a way that Terry hasn't pulled out that much in previous books. I appreciate that it seems like he's very on the same train as, guy who wrote Watership Down. What's his name?
I'm glad you said those words before I did. But like,
Fuck.
It's such a mundane terror, but it's captured so well.
It's so well, and it's like I could see, like, as a kid, I could see that like fucking me up. Kids love books that feel like they shouldn't be for kids. They love creepy shit like that.
Pratchett has said that many times. He has said multiple times, like, the kids should read books that aren't meant for kids, but that are like too adult, about death and things like that. And here he is. He wrote a kids book that is very explicitly really pretty messed up, honestly. Like, he did it. He did exactly what he said you should do. Well done.
Yeah.
You proved your point.
You should have a whole thing about doing cockfighting. Well, dog rat fighting.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole coursing thing is unfortunately.
Yeah, they made Pokemon real.
They made that
Jesus
really
Christ.
terrifying too. Like, it really feels like a one-sided terror blood sport when you're taking it from a rat's eye level.
And then combine that with the ending scene where Dark Tan is like contemplating burning all of the humans alive. It's just like he decides not to because it would be like killing rats in a barrel is his reasoning. It's like, oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
It's
it's
really the we have to be better than them argument, but like not as hackneyed as it's usually played. Literally just like it really shook Dark Tan up, and he's just like
and also
like it was really like one neuron of decision.
And also, what then? Like you go up the river and you do the same thing with the next town. At some point you have to, if you want to live in a society, eventually you have to not burn the other guys down.
It's a much more, honestly, like, as I said, it's a much more nuanced approach than I feel like Pratchett has taken before, and I really loved it.
I mean, it is mentioned that, they kind of realize after the fact of, if we'd burned that down, we absolutely would not have been able to get out in time either. But that's such an afterthought after everything else.
I don't blame them.
It's not the point. It's just the fact that they had this chance at revenge and went, wait, this is not going to fix a goddamn anything. It's going to hurt everyone that I love. So, maybe next time.
I'm trying to think if there's anything in the book that didn't really work. Anything that y'all thought could have been better, or that you just didn't really get, or such.
How'd you feel about the ending?
I kind of liked when the.
Okay.
I didn't mind when the Piper showed up and he kind of lets Keith in on the joke.
Yeah, this no, we just happen to have a dog whistle hidden inside of the flute.
Yeah.
It's dead easy, guy. You know how this works.
Yeah,
but
they have the same scam. It's just that the adult doesn't talk to the rats.
Yeah.
I
enjoyed it. I enjoy the conclusion of the joke where it's like, wait, why would the Pied Piper leave the rats into the river? Rats can swim. But of course that doesn't fit with the story, so no one cares.
So I do kind of want to wonder here for a moment. It is mentioned that the Rat King that the rat catchers made is something that apparently every rat catcher does to graduate from the guild,
or to get into
so there's
the guild,
just this quiet implication that underneath every rat catcher's office across the Discworld, there is an angry rat god screaming bloody murder at all times. Just the notion that that these rats really are just horrible creatures because their worst impulses are being constantly goaded on. That this isn't even directly touched upon. It's never even considered what if there's another Rat King out there. It's just apparently quietly accepted that no, this is going on everywhere.
Yeah,
it's just that most rats aren't smart enough to confront it.
Just kind of fucked up. Good night, kids.
But like, I did say before the podcast that I knew June would have some opinions here about the fact that the rats kind of have to assimilate into society instead of being allowed to just hold their own.
About how they have to have rat cops now.
I did not mean to put you on the spot. This is just somewhere where you are traditionally very good at having strong opinions.
I feel like I should have been more bothered by it than I am, honestly. Like, it... The thing is, it's so contained. Like, it's very much not the approach of like, oh, well, you have to assimilate. You have to all become human. You have to all become like that. It's very much like, no, this is what we have to do right now to survive. This is the approach that is like how we are going to build something better in the future. And it's made clear that, like, they want to build something better.
Okay. I will also grant that the rats themselves go, wait a second, why the fuck are we supposed to assimilate? And, like, you kind of have this built into the framing device. Like, the entire point is it's a bunch of rats that suddenly became tiny furry humans.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to... It is understandable that they're going to have to make accommodations, and yeah, okay, fine. They have to learn trades or whatever. They have to show that they can be productive members of a larger society in order to run their own, and that it's generally they are left alone underground because it's just assumed that they won't do anything horrible. And like, okay, yeah, you're saying yes, there's going to have to be rat cops, but like, what are the humans going to know about rat enforcement methods, for instance?
Yeah, are they gonna find out? Are they gonna, well, because the example given in the book is, what if a rat steals from a human? You know, do they have to be brought to rat justice? Presumably the humans are at least gonna want some, you know, you have to work something out, even if it's not, you know, yes, we threw them in rat prison, come gawk at them.
You unfortunately have to come up with some kind of criminal justice. The point is to not need them, is the idea.
Right. Yeah, like, I mean, a lot of the times I can look at Pratchett and be like, why couldn't you imagine a better world than liberal what you do? Because, I mean, it's one of my biggest arguments with Pratchett, as I've made clear a number of times, is that he keeps doing this. But, like, I mean, here, it really feels a lot less like, oh, well, why couldn't they have something better? And more just like, there is something building here that wasn't here before, and it's going to fucking take a while. And they need to have something in the meantime, and they're figuring that out. It's a lot more localized. It's not like this grand thing. It's just, this is what this is what's going on in this town. This is what's going on with these rats.
Yeah.
It's the sort of thing that makes me wish that, like, we could have, I don't know, fan fiction 5 years from now about the weird rat gay marriage. Tell me about rat gay marriage.
Here it is. This episode's call for fan fiction authors. Gay marriage.
I
know they already did it in Arthur. It can be done.
Correct.
There's no excuse.
I can at least see that, you know, if you are, especially because it's when the rats sit down and write up a charter with the humans to, you know, be equal members of society, I can see why the temptation is there to come up with something, you know, based on the example in front of you. Like, the humans have cops, and especially to put them at ease, you're going to want to propose, well, obviously, we would also, you know, the rats are not above the law, and what that means to you is there are rat cops and rat judges and maybe rat prisons.
There's also I mean, like, if we're doing a whole philosophical and not just taking this book at its face value, like I love to do, because I do this constantly and it bothers everyone. It doesn't actually.
Yeah, it's almost like we have a podcast about this.
But like, if we're doing this, like, I mean, the rats are basing their understanding of, like, society on human society. They aren't just building this out of nowhere. They found a book about humans in the dump. Like, well, it's about, like, for kids, but, like, it's written by humans. They're not going to necessarily, if they're basing it all on this stuff, they're going to replicate a lot of the things that humans do.
Yeah, they
sometimes
wouldn't know
in
any
shitty
better.
ways. Yeah. Why would they come up with something better than rat cops? Not until the future, when hopefully they can come up with something better than rat cops. Because rat cops suck.
As we know, in 5 years, they'll have gay rat marriage and they'll have abolished the rat police.
Yeah,
Love wins.
in similar vein, I hope
I'm
that
going
there's
to be honest. I had trouble remembering what gender the characters were.
Yeah,
outside of Ham and Pork, and that was only because Ham and Pork said females over and over again.
Email.
Yes, exactly. But like at the same time, I kind of feel like Pratchett just assigned characters genders after the fact and just flipped a bunch of coins.
Yeah,
like they just did not care for the most part. And good on him, but
they don't have rat gender roles.
The next question is, why the fuck are rats getting married?
Because we want to see rats in wedding dresses. Duh.
Yeah, love. I want to see love win.
And little top hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Rat boot, love wins.
I was gonna say,
cute,
I also really hope that. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm just being whiny.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. Whine away. That's what we're here for.
No, it's just they don't want to wear clothes and the like. But you're right. That would be really cute.
I cannot deny my nature. I want to see rats in cute little outfits.
I understood the need for it at the time, but down the line it would be, I guess, interesting to explore if Darktan's specific breed of religious-fueled "we are the special ones" militarism that kind of came together during an hour of need ever metamorphoses into something better or curdles into something worse, because that can break good or break bad real easily.
There's
but
a
again,
lot of
these rats need a chance to imagine a better world first, and that starts with them asserting their right to exist.
No, I agree. I just loved this book. It was really good. It made me very, very happy. I loved all these rats a lot. I hope good things happen to them. There's so many. We're talking about all these ideas. There's so many interesting places you could take this book, and I think it's interesting. I think it's a mark in this book's favor that we're not talking about it like, and Pratchett just didn't do those things like we have with other ones. Instead, we're going like, dang, this was great. I can imagine even more in this setting. I can imagine more. I can keep thinking about all these characters and what they might do.
Yeah, I want to see what happens with the rat society that they live in.
It really shows just how well constructed the book is. It's good. I like it. I like this book a lot.
It's a good book.
I do honestly want to see the rats. Almost all of the technology that the rats develop for themselves is born entirely out of necessity and almost entirely about disarming traps and the like. They don't really have a chance to really build anything for themselves because they don't live very long and they've only been at this for a short time anyways. But like, what do they get into? What do they do with themselves after they've actually secured once they've got their shelter and meals issues sorted out and they're no longer being, what do they cap their pyramid with is what I mean. Like, what do they do?
Rat.
Yeah.
Art. Rat. Art.
Yeah.
Rat.
Yes.
Art.
Yes.
Rat. Art. Art.
Yeah. Yeah. What do they do? What do they do when they some of the fucking murder pressure is off and they can dream and they can do what they want with their lives?
What does rat ennui look like?
Well, no, we've seen that. It goes in the cream. That they promised to stop doing
we know
that.
what rat wee looks like. Yeah, no.
I'm throwing both of you out of the podcast.
An even greater literary genre, books written by rats living in a people world. My brain is glowing right now.
Finally, I want to see the fanfic the rats write in their own rat language.
Books written by rats for humans.
Holy shit. Okay, that's the fanfiction command for this episode. Please.
Oh no.
Write as if you were a rat.
Conlangs.
I feel like someone's done that, but that would be a really, really fun, like, writing prompt. Write a book in, like, funny animal human world, but from the perspective of, like, a society of, I don't know, eels or something, trying to write to, like, explain things to humans. I mean, that's what people do with aliens in a lot of books, and it's always really fun. Good stuff. Always. What else was there in this book? I'm trying to think. There's the whole thing with the Piper, which we talked about that a bit. I thought it worked pretty well. Then there's the whole meeting where they're meeting with all the humans. It's interesting because this book did the Pratchett thing where there's like 12 different endings, but I didn't mind it nearly as much as I usually do because it felt earned, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I'm a sucker for their sitting down and they're writing their little agreement, their concord, their little constitution, their little Bill of Rat Rights.
Bill of Rats.
Bill of Rats.
There we go.
Thank you, Belina.
Love wins.
The notion that everything got incredibly complicated incredibly quickly, but everybody seemed to be practically enjoying themselves, as exhausting as it was.
Like the bit where the one city council guy who's a million years old wakes up. He's like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, we're drawing up the rats can talk. We're forming a society." He's like, "Yeah, that's what it's gonna be like in the future." It's like, "Oh, it's the future, is it? It's about time." I was wondering when that was gonna happen. All right, good night.
The least realistic thing in the entire book.
Yeah, it's like, the future's happened. We're living in a society. All right.
Old man is cool with the future.
Yeah, it's like I was wondering when the future was gonna happen, and make everything cool and better.
It's hard to talk about a book like this because I think we all just enjoyed it so much.
If we enjoyed it that much, maybe it's time we moved on to the other reason this podcast exists.
First, I want to ask, what was y'all's favorite joke in the book?
Okay.
It was the only one I really felt. There are, either the one about the future or again the bit where I think Maurice Militia is on an adventure and says something like, "Oh, it's just the two of us," but four teenagers and a dog is really the proper mystery solving team.
My favorite joke in this book is unfortunately the one that made me groan the loudest and just stare at the wall and have to put my book down for a while, which is the moment where Pratchett finally gets to use the joke that I can only assume he's been saving up this entire time, when Maurice dies and Maurice goes, "It was him, the bony rat, the grim squeaker."
Yeah.
I just went,
he has
God
used that one
fucking
before,
damn it.
I swear.
Yeah, it would not surprise me, but not using it for the entire book and treating the death of rats with genuine seriousness the whole time, and then at the end just being like, "Nah, I get to drop that joke. Hell yeah." And God fucking damn it, Pratchett. Good job, but God damn it. Ugh. Got me.
I don't... It's bugging me because there were a couple of moments where I went, "Oh God," and I made a mental note that I'd have to remember that that's my favorite joke in the book, but I forget both of them. So I'm going to revert back to very early in when they're looking at the notice, the bounty notice for rat tails, and it says "report to rat house," and Maurice just appears to be bullshitting of, no, that doesn't literally mean what it says. It just means the where the city council works or something like that. And that's the one time that he's bullshitting where he accidentally gets it 100% correct, because that is a German word meaning town hall.
Great stuff.
Yeah, coming off the bit where he's like, "Well, it's called Bad Blitz because it's an old-timey word for bath. But, it's a really good bath, so they were really proud of it."
So the notion that he just gets something right was very good in hindsight, but I didn't get to laugh at that one until I went to Wikipedia and went, okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, I've had a lot of Pratchett jokes like that at this point.
This book didn't have any weird Britishisms in it.
It had weird
Germanisms.
Germanisms.
Terrier rat coursing thing, that's pretty British. I have that down as
the fact that rat coursing is real is something that kind of counts alongside
That's
the
pretty
fact that
fucking
rat kings are a thing. There've been more of them discovered since this book has been, ones that have actually been properly documented, because most of the time when you find a rat king long after they were all alive. So finding live ones is actually fairly recent. It does happen, and it happens for exactly the reasons you think it does. They get stuck in something sticky, and their tails get tangled together, and
and we were both girls.
It's not a happy time for anyone. I did some research on this one way back, technically because of this book, but I didn't know it at the time because there's a instance section in the mud where you're running around inside like down a rat farm underneath Ankh-Morpork, and occasionally you will find a rat king that will hit you with psychic bullshit and summon more rats.
That's so wild.
Is this where we get our story about you playing?
Oh no, this is just me having to admit that the main thing that I do when I go back to play on and I actually feel like engaging with the combat is that dungeon, because just the way that my wizard fights, it's my primary offensive attack is a fireball created with eyeballs. You literally set an eyeball on fire and it zips around the room and hits everything in the room. And, that's really good for taking on packs of enemies, like a pack of rats. And hey, I can get the eyeballs back afterwards. And those rats are tough, but they can't get through the two different shield types I've got. So it's just this perfectly balanced difficulty point from where my character is. So just the main thing I do is running around killing a bunch of rats and selling off the tools that the rat farmers are using to their rival rat catcher. So I just commit mass rat slaughter when I'm playing the game these days. So shameful confession, I guess.
Wow. That's wild that they integrated that into like a game mechanic.
Yeah, no, it's like one of the few places where they do instance dungeons, which to do that in a mud is fucking unthinkable.
It's also wild that I guess the Discworld mud. I mean, do you get to talk to any of the rats? Do any of them talk?
None of them are talking rats, thank God.
Oh.
No, it is just a shitty rat farm that's run underneath Ankh-Morpork.
Okay, so it's not a Maurice.
Even Fallen London is more progressive than this.
Yeah, the entire time I was thinking...
there are no Ratus Fabbers, but the rats in that are victims. I'm selling the tools off to a rival faction, basically.
The entire time I was thinking, yes, the Ratus Farber.
Yeah, no, these aren't the good rats.
Alexis, you fucking hack. Also, Maurice, use your dungeon. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't think of a single joke that I like the most. Probably something that Militia said. She said a lot of weird shit. The whole bit with her, like, trying to say, like, oh, yeah, clearly we're only going to find the secret passageway when we give up and casually lean against some sort of object. And then she does it, and the book says, like, a secret switch failed to emit a quiet click, thereby totally not rolling back a hidden passage.
It's like, there's not even
that was good.
There's not even a single ornate candlestick in here, or a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's great.
That part was good. Also, this book mentions crop circles. Crop circles exist in Discworld.
Yes, that was it. That was my first one. The fact that no matter how many aliens confess to making them, people think that they're just made by bored farmers.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And this goes completely unchallenged.
That was so great.
Thank you.
This is an entire other book.
This is one of the few times I've loved like one of the jokes in universe. The bit where they're fucking with the Piper at the end and they send out Mr. Clicky. That was great. That was a great little gag. Like, normally that's not the sort of thing that Discworld really goes for, is that sort of like in-universe making a joke like that, but it worked. I enjoyed it. I love these little guys. I would die for all of these rats.
God, there was one tiny Discworld bit of like the laws of universal humor, where the one of the earlier Mr. Clickies gets detonated and one of the wheels bounces past.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have to.
Yeah, because it has to. But he doesn't draw attention to it like he always does. It's just allowed to happen naturally.
If you know the patterns of these things, then you won't be surprised.
Right, so we were supposed to rank these.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Good question.
We're all just kind of sitting here being like, dang, what a good book. That was a good book.
But,
good book.
But quantifiably, if you were to assign it a number, how good would it be? Now, would you say that we have our list? Let me get it in front of you so that you can see it.
Yeah, I've got it in the chat room. That are we saying this is better than Small Gods? because that's number 5, and this one
I
does
think
tackle
it's-
a lot of the same subject.
I think it's better than Small Gods.
It
Yeah.
certainly hit me better than Small Gods.
That has gotten so much easier to say every time we've had to say it.
I'd love to be like, no, it's not Small Gods, but like, yeah, no, I did enjoy this more than Small Gods.
And I'm similarly going to say it's better than Fifth Elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's the tricky one. Would you say
Yeah,
it's
I
better
would
or
say
worse
that.
than Carpe Jugulum?
If they're judged by themselves, then yes, because a lot of Carpe Jugulum works because of what we knew of the characters thus far.
That's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
good point.
This gets trickier because neither The Truth nor Feet of Clay really rely on previous books as much.
But also,
Yeah.
Carpe
Would you
Jugulum is really fucking good. Like,
It is.
It's really good. Would you say this is better? Entertaining the idea that this is better than Carpe Jugulum, let's just say hypothetically, would you say it's better or worse than The Truth? That's really fucking hard, though.
I like The Truth more. It's got my polycule in it. I love them more. I love them too much.
Love does
Also-
win.
The Truth swings for the fences a little bit further. Like this book is about starting a society, but The Truth is about navigating an already built society.
living in one.
And like I'm also not about to say that this book is better than Feet of Clay,
No.
because Feet of Clay still is
Yeah,
like
Clay of by Clay.
it's up there.
Rat of
Yeah.
by Rats.
I
I'm
think
perfectly happy putting this in slot 3.
I think I would say slot 4, but I could be convinced to do slot 3 if y'all are convinced on that.
If nothing else, the recency bias is making me want to put it in 3.
Carpe Jugulum did have the stuff with Mightily Oates is the thing. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh
It
crap!
had a
we're
lot of
deadlocked.
shit about. It did have this book did not have Nanny Ogg in it. I'll
Correct,
say that.
correct.
It's true. It's true. I'm
But it-
willing to concede and put it in slot 4.
It's definitely better than Fifth Elephant. That's the main thing I wanted to get in there.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
boils down
I would
to.
definitely
Let's-
say that. Fifth Elephant is really good, but it's messy. And this book was really tight.
Yeah. Let's. God,
All right, let's
that's really hard.
let's just take a vote. I say I think I
Okay.
like Carpe Jugulum more. Grace, Carpe Jugulum or Maurice?
I'm gonna say Maurice.
All right, Belina.
I mean, I'm gonna say Maurice.
All right, Iris, you're the
This is gonna
rat
be a
lover.
problem
You want to
because
go with the rats? We could just give it to the rats because we love rats too much.
I'm really sorry. If I'm the swing vote, I mean, I love a little rat.
It's
I'm really fucking
it's not even the
sorry.
swing vote because there's 4 of us.
Yep.
Iris, you have the chance to tie it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
no, I-
no, yeah. If
Well,
you
here's-
go with rats,
here's the
then yeah,
other-
that's it. I say go with rats.
Here's-
let's
Here's
say
the other
rats.
thing too is that like it's a little more concise than Carpe Jugulum is. There's a few more odd angles that Carpe Jugulum
I
has.
stand
that
by
you could
what I
chop
said
off.
that like a lot of Carpe Jugulum would not have been good if it had been the first watch.
Yeah,
the first
I
Witch
think
book.
I think the fact that this book is specifically built to be a entry point really is ultimately in its favor. I think that's why it gets the number 3 for me.
All right.
It's a book I could hand to anyone and be like, hey, this is Discworld. Check it out.
Check out these wise rats. Check out these rats that
Yes.
would be welcome on Doom Vibes.
So we're gonna slide it in at number 3, but just know that Carpe Jugulum is still right up there, and people don't give it enough credit for being fucking great.
It really is. All right, yeah, number 3.
yeah.
I'm impressed. I mean, the
3.
book that I hadn't read, one of the few Discworld books that I had actually
Yeah.
never experienced before, is our number 3. That's wild to me.
It really has me excited for some of the other young adult books, which I haven't read any of the other young adult books in the Discworld series, so I'm really hyped to see how those turn out.
I am going to say that I'm really amazed that Militia was not a witch.
Honestly, when we met her, I thought she was going to be the fucking girl from Lords and Ladies.
Oh, yeah.
The one girl who wears a lot of black and is witch coat and like styles herself.
Yeah, like Diamanda.
Yeah, like I thought she was gonna. I thought she was gonna.
I thought it was
come
the
back.
exact same joke, and she's in a black dress, and it's like I think that the only reason why she wasn't was because this was a young adult book.
Yeah.
And this was the first one of those.
Yeah.
And it would have added baggage that he did not want to
Yeah,
deal
you would have had
with.
to do a lot
And
of
hey,
pedology explaining that didn't really fit in the book.
We're going to
Yeah.
get YA books that have witches in them, so
Yeah. Give Militia a few more years. I think she could pick up the craft.
Yeah.
God, oh my God!
I think she'd be good at it.
Imagine a genre savvy Magret.
I'm rooting for her.
Terrifying.
When are we gonna get Marilisha?
I mean, never say never. That's another fanfic prompt.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been listening to Discovers. You can email us at disc@hypnovire.us or hit us up at DiscPod on Mastodon at queer.party, co-host, Blue Sky. We have Twitter if for some reason you're still on that godforsaken website.
No, godforsaken.website's on the Fediverse.
Damn. Should be, though. Next episode, it's the one you have probably been waiting for if you're a Discworld
It's the one
fan.
I've been waiting for.
It's that one. And hey, guess what? Not to pull back the curtain a little bit, but we're recording this on May 25th.
Yep.
An auspicious day.
GNU Terry Pratchett.
We're doing Night Watch.
I am not ready for Night Watch.
It's the one where we talk about cops. We're really going to get into cops. We're really going to start talking about the fucking law enforcement.
I have been threatening this entire podcast to make Night Watch into a two-parter, and I am going to hopefully make good on that threat. This is my goal. I want to do a two-parter for that. Maybe it will, maybe we won't. But I just love the book so much. It means that much to me. We'll see.
We'll see if
So
it's either
good.
a two-parter or it might just be like one of those 3-hour podcasts you can put on during a long car drive or something. Just, get ready for that. That's going to be exciting. And then I think after that is We Free Men, and then I think after that is Monstrous Regiment, and we're going to keep going through the bangers era, but this next one, I've had people ask me since, episode 1, they've been like, hey, are you going to get to Night Watch? When are you going to get to Night Watch? And I'd be like, it's a few years out, but we're going to be getting there.
We're doing
Don't
them in
worry.
order, you can guess.
We're doing them in order.
You can
It's
extrapolate.
doing them in order is part of it. But
I'm so
yeah, so
excited.
get hyped for that. That'll probably come out sometime. Like I said, I'm going into surgery, parentheses. It's good surgery, don't worry.
It's good surgery, bro.
But yes, going to surgery in June. I'll be out in July. We'll probably cut the episode sometime in late July. So expect that in late July, early August.
Hell
Gives
yeah.
you plenty of time for you, the listeners, to read along with us.
I will be reading 3 times because I love this book too much. How many times can I go
Fuck
through
yeah.
it?
I'm Iris J. You can find me online at irisj.net, or you can find me at irisjcomics on your various better quality social media websites. Trying to think of stuff to promote. Buy something in my shop. I'm going into surgery. I won't be able to work for a little while. Buy yourself a silly little comic or something. Send me a little $1.
Yeah,
It'd be
they're
nice.
good comics.
They're good comics. Smile sweetly. I think for the thing I am going to recommend, I've been playing a game alongside Nero. We've been kind of teaming up to play it together recently by the indie developer Simogo called Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. It's a puzzle game that is set in a mysterious European mansion and is concerned a lot with art and legacy and authorship. It's very in the same vein as a Myst or my friend Yana compared it a lot to the Nancy Drew Adventures games, but with a lot more kind of tricksy number puzzles. And it's also more than a little Resident Evil influenced. It's got an amazing looking art style, and it's It's got some incredible like brain mulcher puzzles in it. It's really fun. You should check it out if you're a puzzle sicko freak like we are. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
You love some lasers.
Go for it, Grace.
Ah, shit, fuck. I have been the internet's beloved Princess Race. You can find my writing programs, podcast posts, and everything else that's fit to plug at princess.software. Fuck. I was scrolling back to my social media to figure out what the hell I've been doing recently, but it's been like editing Horse Truck and... It's been editing Horse Truck, photographing bread, and installing NixOS. I know those are like that exciting to talk about here. You should read my stories. I've been trying to come up with a new one every month. You too can go to perfect.hypnovir.us and read seminal work, Name Every Woman.
That's a really good one.
Oh, thank you.
Grace's pornography is a cut above most pornography.
Yeah, do note that this is pornography, not in a bad way. Just Grace is recommending pornography. Let's just
18 plus. It's good.
Yeah.
I recommend that you read more pornography, even if you're not into sex that much. Sometimes there are good stories in pornography, too.
If you're not at least 18 years old, please do not tell us this.
Yeah.
Don't read it if you're under 18. If you're over 18...
You shouldn't be listening to this podcast if you're under 18,
Yeah, we're for sophisticated
frankly,
adults. Like, one of my finest moments was I posted, a porn story someone hired me to write, and one of the comments was just like, just some random guy who's like, hey, I really like these characters. Is there going to be more of this? I had, absolutely no, like, indication that he, that he was aroused by it. He just enjoyed it for its literary value. And you know what? Good for him. I'm rooting for him.
This guy out here reading Playboy literally for the articles.
Yeah, dude loves Play Skunk. Belina, where can we find you? So, June, where can we find you?
We're just gonna say, I've been Juniper Theory. Juniper. Restart. I've been Juniper. You can find me online at Juniper Theory on Twitch and co-host and a bunch of other places. Finally moved across the country, so hopefully I'll be getting back more online. What to recommend? I'm gonna recommend I've played so many weird video games recently, so many things. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna recommend the assorted video games of I believe Joe Richardson is the name. The Procession to Calvary. Four Last Things, and the new one that comes out, I believe, this year, Death of the Reprobate. They are point-and-click adventures, and the entire gimmick is that all of the art in it is taken from, like, classic Renaissance paintings. So you play as weird medieval guys. It's very, if you've ever seen Monty Python animations,
it's very Gilliam animation-esque.
It's very that, including in its sense of humor, which is like, what if we made this beautiful lady from a beautiful Renaissance painting do a fart? But sometimes you want to read that, and it's very entertaining. It's good stuff. I recommend it.
That feels like a very specifically, if you like Discworld, check this out kind of recommendation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am still Belina. I'm still easiest to find in the show notes. For a plug, I'm going to suggest In Stars and Time. It is one of like 10 games I ended up playing in a row that turned out to be about time loops, and the second one in a row where it was a game about time loops where the protagonist gets called Stardust all the time. You're like the leader / rogue in like a typical JRPG party that's about to go do the final dungeon. You go into said dungeon, and 5 seconds into it, you fucking eat it. You just fucking die. And then find out you're stuck in a time loop until you get this right. And it is a game that is very much just about how quickly one will be driven to absolute madness by getting Groundhog's Day'd. Especially when you don't actually know what you're supposed to be doing. It was really good. It was one of those games that I just hyper-fixated on for 5 days and cried profusely at the end. And to be perfectly honest, only 3 or 4 things have actually made me cry like that in my life. So that's much higher praise than what it sounds like. So, highly recommended. That is In Stars and Time.
I've heard really good things about it. A friend actually liked it so much that that they bought it for me, and I still haven't played it. It's sitting in my Steam library. I want to play it. It's on the list of like, I know this is going to be a mental effort. Like it's going to take part of my brain to actually do, and so it's so much easier to just be like,
I mean, I can do exactly what I did with you with Void Stranger, but it's nowhere near as difficult as Void Stranger was. That the game's your party mage is a Belina, but not quite in the way that you necessarily know about.
Love to see it.
I'm curious now.
Wonderful. But yeah, tune back in for sorry.
Wait, shit, no, I go wishlist The Last Days of Friendship Valley. It's good. There you go.
Oh,
yes!
Go do that. Yeah, The Last Days of Friendship Valley is really cool.
That will be our collective plug the day that thing comes out.
I think I called it a deck-building friendship 'em up in Horse Truck, but that's underselling it. It's very good.
Friend 'em up.
It's extremely good.
I have gotten to playtest it. It is fucking incredible. It is even better than you would expect it to be. It's so fucking good.
But yeah, this has been Discovers. Join us next time for Night Watch.
Yes!
Until then. Yeah. Oh, and also keep an eye out for that bonus episode.
Yeah.
Till then, truly they were the amazing Maurice and Educated Rodents. Thank you all for coming.
Follow your dreams.
Yeah. Have a good night.
So amazing Mayor Reese. Thank you.
Holy shit.
There we go.